Kirby Saunders, Emergency Management Coordinator for Orange County, North Carolina. So the North Carolina National Guard is supplying logistical personnel to support our COVID response here in Orange County. Primarily that is in regards to a couple of different mission areas, one being our scarce resources management. So that is right now scarce resources are gloves, gowns, masks, and primarily any equipment needed for the healthcare infrastructure in our community. The logistical support behind that is the receiving and distribution of those scarce resources here at our main warehouse in Hillsborough. The secondary mission to that is the organization of donated non-perishable food items. So currently Orange County is operating a bulk receiving or donation receiving sites in 2 locations throughout the county 3 times a week. So Monday, Wednesday, and Fridays, there are 2 sites that are collecting non-perishable food items from the community. And those items need to be brought back to a central location to be sorted, inventoried, and stored for future distribution purposes. Our intention for those is for them to go to the nonprofit organizations that are currently conducting feeding operations in our community. The feeding operations right now are supporting the existing food insecure areas in our community and residents that are food insecure, as well as the growing need that is becoming ever increasing week by week of the population that needs feeding assistance. So that's a really important mission for continuing the feeding operations in the county. Currently we're doing about 50,000 meals per week in Orange County that are being distributed, and we're seeing about a 4,000 to 5,000 meal per week increase. So every week we're seeing additional 4,000 to 5,000 meals per week that are needed in our community. So the Guard is providing very critical support to our community, or will be providing critical support to our community to support that effort of continuing to feed the food insecure in Orange County. Along that same mission line, we're preparing to increase that operation. So that will, the Guard will be providing support for bulk feeding operations. Currently we're doing that about once per week with the North Carolina Food Bank. And we're seeing anywhere from 500 to 600 vehicles per day come through those in a one site location. So the Guard will be providing much needed logistical support in organizing that site for efficiency and effectiveness, as well as providing logistical support to support the actual produce or product that is being distributed there. So my experience, 22 years in emergency management at a local level. I've worked hand in hand with the Guard on numerous deployments, most of them being hurricanes. And the Guard is an efficient, effective, and organized force that local emergency managers can request and pull upon, and have a solid, sound, and consistent form of support in our local communities. So what really makes the Guard special here are our citizen soldiers. One, they are Guardsmen, but they're also residents of North Carolina, and so they feel the connection to the citizens that they're serving, the residents that they're serving, just like we do in local emergency management. The added benefit and skill set they bring to the table is discipline and organization. In a time of crisis, that's one of the most important things we can have, and what appears to be a chaotic world is to bring some organization and stability and consistency, and the Guard is one of the best places to get that resource. And the fastest. It can take quite a bit of time to mobilize effective volunteer resources and keep them consistent and organized to be as efficient as possible. In a growing incident like COVID, and particularly all the challenges that come with that, we have to have a support mechanism that is both efficient and effective, but also flexible. And while volunteers provide a very important role, and we're using a lot of volunteers in a lot of our efforts, there are some areas like supply chain of logistics and feeding operations that we really need to do with precision and consistency and accuracy in order to make the process much more efficient in the long run to our community. And the goal is to support the community first and foremost, and that also means saving as many lives as possible, whether that be from infection from COVID or the healthcare workers to protect them so we can maintain our critical infrastructure of healthcare, or unfortunately that may mean providing food for people who have no other means to get it. I think the relationship, and we always pride ourselves in emergency management, 90% of what we do is relationship building, and 90% of what we do in a disaster is leveraging those relationships that are built. So the strong relationship that state emergency management was formed with state National Guard, and thus local emergency management with National Guard as well, it's a leverage of a relationship that we've had for many, many, many years, and we have known how to apply that force or that resource appropriately in any other disaster. We're leveraging a lot of what we normally do for any other disaster in COVID response in a lot of areas. The difference is how, at a tactical level, how do we do that with ensuring social distancing and some of the normal practices, and that's where the flexibility really comes in. So having the Guard be consistent and organized and key flexible, that we are having to change how we perhaps do sheltering or bulk feeding operations. We're not able to bring people to one congregate location to provide hot meals in a large setting. We need to really flex that and do more drive-through operations, where the Guard, I think, is positioned and logistically can support big bulk operations. I think that's just a conduit and a normal carry-on from the relationship we've built for years on hurricane after hurricane and incident after incident. So if it wasn't for the Guard, we wouldn't be able to release those critical resources back to the jobs there's really essential healthcare frontline workers. The Guard is replacing those people so they can focus on providing direct frontline care.
Okay, my name's Chase Boozer. I'm 13 Juliet, which is a fire direction specialist, and I'm part of the 5th of the 113th Field Artillery Unit. I'm helping county officials with logistics of PPE to local hospitals and environments around the county. So I got a call yesterday saying I needed to come to the Armory for state active duty orders. We came in, we drove down here to help with the local teams to pass out PPE equipment. Initially I was nervous about finally leaving my house after being in my house for the last month, but I knew this was a good cause, and I'm going to be helping people out, switching over to just staying at home and being a student to being part of the National Guard. So I'm a graduating senior at NC State, and I had to let all my professors know that I was getting activated for this, and so they were very helpful in allowing me to hold off on some of my exams or rescheduling exams, which is extremely important for me to be able to complete school and while still serving on state active duty. It's tough, stressful at times, thinking about what you have to do on the civilian world and still perform your duties here, but I'm just doing it for the betterment of the community and helping out my neighbors and all that. I suppose it's my duty when I signed up to serve my area. I suppose I'm important because while the medical professionals are starting to become strained and they need extra help, we're here to come relieve them or give support to those who may actually become too overwhelmed with the current workload. I've been working with the emergency management here for the first day, and they've been getting me up to speed on all the various tasks and procedures I need to be completing for my day-to-day tasks. First day was just movement to our location where we're going to be working for the next month, getting settled in as far as our roles. It's always in my head. My first deployment, I got pulled out of classes after the second week to go on a deployment. So after that experience, I'm always expecting the unexpected. I know as long as I'm working with the Guard, I have to be ready for anything that might come out.